Coming up on Look Today, well, the village of Cambridge is opening a youth center to promote productivity and healthy behavior in our youth. Got details. And Glens Falls Planning Board will review plans for more apartments and renovations at the Mill Complex in downtown Glens Falls. More on that coming up. Plus, we've got more on the Human Rights Task Force in Saratoga Springs. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jay Hood Jackson, and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, I sit down with Tony Garcia. He's Public Relations Officer for American Legion Post 233, Glens Falls. And he's here to discuss the next meeting in a series of discussions involving what you need to know to help make our communities more productive and prosperous. I also sit down with Beverly Davis. Now, she's a founder of a very interesting group called Youth Squared, and we're joined by Alex Height and Noah Astruck. They're here to talk about the Trailblazing Volunteer Training Program that's happening this Thursday, April 6th. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, the village of Cambridge is building a youth center to establish a more productive environment for our youth. Now, the center will be built in the former Patrician Hall and is scheduled to open May 1st. Well, we spoke to the mayor of Cambridge, Carmen Bogle, about the origins of the hall.
The idea started back late winter of last year. We pulled together an opiate summit kind of just to address the concerns of the heroin epidemic that's going on all over the state. We had about 70 in attendance, and after the presenters did their thing, we had people break down in individual groups and kind of list some ways we as a community could help. And Youth Center was top of everybody's list, so that's what got the ball rolling.
Wow. And we also spoke to her about how members of the community can get involved.
This facility is going to be what they make it. It's their facility, and if anyone wants to contribute their time, supplies, materials, to be there to help out and make this successful, I encourage them to do so.
Well, in other news, the Mill apartment complex in Glens Falls has been sold, and the new owners plan to construct new apartments and do a lot of renovations. Now, the Glens Falls Planning Board will review plans at their monthly meeting tomorrow. Now, we're in contact with Dan Bruno. He's chair of the board, and we're going to have more on this in the coming days, hopefully an interview with Dan himself. Switching from news to weather. Well, today saw an increase in temperatures into the high 40s, low 50s. Happy spring. Let's see how the week's shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. As we jump into the first look forecast, right now looking like a pretty wet week of weather still lays ahead. We're watching a very potent storm system. The system has had plenty of history of severe weather stretching from portions of Oklahoma and Texas across Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, still pushing across portions of Georgia and into the mid-Atlantic. But we're going to be watching just the more wet end of this around this low filtering our way, bring us a decent chance of rain, especially as we continue on through the daytime hours of tomorrow. But temperatures in the 30s and 40s across the region. We'll see our low tonight hanging in there about 41. We'll see those wet weather chances ramping up, especially by morning. So 3, 4, 5 a.m. we're going to see some heavier wet weather moving in. Could receive up to a ½ inch of rainfall before the sun comes back up. An additional ½ to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall as we go through our Tuesday. Tuesday's high 48. Keep the umbrellas handy, and you can see that out the door. We'll stay cool with temperatures anywhere from about 39 to 43. We'll start off cool. We'll see temperatures rising into the mid-40s, but the heavy rain chances will be with us, especially during the early morning commute, and that's when I do expect to see the heaviest wet weather pushing in and out. Some sunshine briefly with us on Wednesday. Some more wet weather looking to arrive as another storm system starts to push towards us on Thursday. Could see some snowflakes early Thursday morning, but predominantly expect to see some wet weather chances in the form of rain Thursday, Friday, before ending Saturday. We'll watch cooler weather hanging with us for the back half of the week and into the weekend. Well, that's it from the Weather Center. I'm your meteorologist, Brandon Boucher.
Thanks, Brad. I think the operative word in that weather forecast is rain instead of snow, but it is going to be raining quite a bit tomorrow morning for your commute. Back to the news. Well, continuing our coverage of Human Rights Task Force in Saratoga, Mayor Joanne Yepsen is working on creating this important organization. The task force goal will be to raise social awareness to combat ignorance and racism in our communities. Well, a resolution was passed last week to create more solidarity in Saratoga Springs. We spoke to the mayor about this.
I feel that that's one of the strongest assets of Saratoga Springs is its people. And people gather together to help each other. We don't want the kind of city that other cities are experiencing with the hate crimes. We're moving in a proactive way to educate people and to unite people before those things even happen.
Now, Mayor Yepsen is coming in for an interview later this week, and we're going to discuss this in further detail. Well, up next, I sit down with Tony Garcia. He's Public Relations Officer for American Legion Post 233 in Glens Falls. He's here to discuss the next meeting in a series of discussions involving what you need to know to help make our communities more productive and prosperous. Plus, I also sit down with Beverly Davis, and she's founder of Youth Squared Group. And I'm joined by Alex Height and Noah Astrick. And they're here to talk about the Trailblazing Volunteer Training Program that's happening this Thursday, April 6th. But first, if you've seen who's happening, you want to share a story idea. How about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. It's Monday, so we like to look ahead. We have a jam-packed week. Please check in with us frequently during the week. And of course, you can always go to Facebook. We're always interested in knowing what you think, but check this out. Tomorrow, Andrew's going to be up in Lake George, Law Enforcement Weekend Press Conference. That's the second one they're having about this major event that they're planning. I think it's in May. Wednesday, we'll be at Heritage Hall. Big debate, public forum on the airport expansion. We'll be covering that. And check out the guests who are coming in this week. Mayor Joanne Yepsen, Dr. Christine Duffy, Dr. John Ruggie, Mike Consulo, president of Lake George Chamber. We got a jam-packed week, so please check in with us as frequently and as often as you can. Tonight on Look TV, it's Beyond the Headlines and Tracks, new episodes of Tracks premiering tonight. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.